So, welcome to your yoga practice. Welcome to your mat or shawl or whatever it is that you're sitting on. Find a nice comfortable sit. So, you may have noticed me moving side to side, rocking, if you can see me there. Do that. Find that space because we want to have that beautiful, solid, grounded, stable base, nice and strong, so we can stack up from there. So when you are nice and stable and feel very secure in that ground connection, earth connection, let's just give a little attention to pelvic floor, to the root chakra, right at the base of your body. And then we're just going to engage muscles in the legs, in the thighs, in the pelvis, lift the pelvic floor, engage that whole lower section of the body, trying to not let the top part of you join in. So top half relaxed, bottom half, everything engaged, squeezing in nice and tight, just saying hello, noticing what's there, and then let go. Relax. And then let's move up the body. So we're bringing our attention and our awareness to each part, sort of large part, not very specific at the moment, just to give ourselves that attention and notice how we're feeling. So we're going to engage the lower belly, pull the belly button in towards the spine, engage the sides of the body as if you're trying to lift your hips up to your armpits with those side muscles. Engage the muscles in your back. And you're feeling your shoulder blades move here. Lift your sternum. Engage your ribs. Send your chest up towards the ceiling without moving your spine too much, just using the muscles. Engage your shoulders. This might all feel a bit strange because we don't tend to isolate here. So just squeezing all the muscles in your torso. Like I'm even squeezing my jaw here. Trying not to keep the head engaged right now, just the torso. Squeezing, 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 and release. Let go. Take a deep breath in. And then let's do the same with the hands and arms. So just hands on knees. Just make a nice big grip there. Hold on tight to your knees. Feel that engagement flowing up through your forearms, elbows, upper arms, shoulders, and this time into the neck as well. Maybe feeling that in your jaw and your face, scrunching up your features perhaps. Feeling that you're engaging the muscles on your scalp, in your face. Squeeze, 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 and release. Lovely. Hopefully you got a nice warm feeling there from having everything squeeze and then release. And let's roll the shoulders. So we're just cycling the shoulders around and then change direction if you can. So they're going round and one is back and one is forward at the same time. So it's kind of wobbly wheel going round and stop. And then a gentle turn from side to side. So using your arms here, so make those arms work to push yourself round, looking round over your left shoulder and then all the way around, looking over your right shoulder. A little bit of work into the neck there as well. So we're not holding the twist. We're just going to the furthest most point and then coming back. Using your arms. So the twist starts in the head, or does it start at the base of the spine? Up to you. Doesn't matter where you feel it starts or finishes. Just using the arms all the way around. Lovely. So you've got that nice warmed up spine and neck. Take your chin to your chest. So if you have any stiffness in your upper back or your neck or your throat, this is such a lovely stretch. It's so simple, just allowing the weight of your head to pull the whole face down towards the ground. At the same time, keeping your back tall. So drop your sit bones down into the floor and push the floor away with your sit bones. At the same time, allow your head to relax. And we're going to arch all the way up. So draw a line with the chin, draw a nice semicircle with your chin, bringing the back of your head to the top of your back. And send your chin forward. Let's do that gorgeous stretch into the neck and throat. I think this stretch is increasingly important as we get older. Well, probably important throughout life, really. It just helps dislodge things, helps our voice. And as you know, it's a really strong stretch. So release when you need to and then come back. Think about taking that stretch right down, maybe even to the top of your chest if you can. If you pop your hand just at the top of your chest, and as you send your chin up to the ceiling, you might be able to feel that stretch across the skin at the top of your décolletage arch. And release. Might be getting a little tired of that now. Come back to the center. And one last little bit of the neck. Let's take right ear to right shoulder, keeping everything else still. There might not be a very big movement. That's okay. It's about trying to keep stillness, the relaxed stillness in the rest of the body. Noticing where you are perhaps tensing or tightening to compensate, being out of line, and allowing those parts of you to relax. Again, we're just working with gravity here and the weight of the head. So all we need is to be able to get ourselves safely, actively, enthusiastically, hopefully, through life, through what we want to do in our life, whether that's skiing or running or jumping or being able to just get stuff done. So we want everything working. And then we're going to be lifting the head up and coming over to the other side. Just noticing how that feels so different. You get used to that stretch, your body gets used to it, and then all of a sudden you're on the other side, doing the same thing. And just hold for a moment more, and then we're coming back to center. So now is the time to set your sankalpa or your intention for your yoga class, your yoga session, your yoga time, your mat time, whatever you want to call it. So close your eyes, lift your chest, lift the crown of your head up, take up lots of space, feel powerful and strong and determined and quietly confident in your body. Lifting the crown of your head up towards the ceiling, beautiful long neck, lifted your chest a little, lengthen through the body, legs relaxed and completely grounded, totally supported by the ground, connected to the earth. Closing your eyes, set your sankalpa for your session today, for your time here. And if nothing comes to mind, just grab hold of something, anything. And as you practice, if something else nudges in, swap it for the new thing that has come to you if you need to. So we're going to keep this tall posture, this strong posture, and we're going to breathe together. So we're going to inhale through the nostrils and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Hold on empty. Inhale. Hold on full. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Continue at your own pace for 3 rounds. So you're holding, you're inhaling, you're holding, you're exhaling. In through your nostrils and out through your mouth. Gently pursed lips helps you slow down and lengthen the breath. Going at your own pace, noticing if you've needed to change it to suit you better. And if you have, then well done for listening to what it is that you need. Listening and checking in with your own lung capacity and adjusting to suit. And open your eyes. Well done. So let's come back to that breath at any time during the day, and talking to myself here as well, that things get a little fraught, crazy, busy, and come back to that state of being calm and in control and having a system that is soothed and in tune. So we're taking the right leg out to the side, left leg comes in, and we can turn the foot to have the sole of the foot pointing slightly upwards if it works for your knee. Otherwise, come to where works for you. And we're up tall and we're trying to be in the middle. Now, there's going to be a different sensation in your right sit bone and your left sit bone. Can't speak this morning, obviously. It's going to be one of those days. And just noticing that. And when we're going to move to the side, making sure that that sit bone on the left stays on the floor, even if it doesn't feel as solidly on the floor perhaps as the right side. So we're sliding down the right, taking the elbow down to the knee if that's going to work, otherwise keeping a straight arm. We're looking for that beautiful stretch in the side of the left body. The left side of your one body that you have, not the left body and the right body. We're going to squeeze tightly into the right side. Taking the arm up. This is a lovely stretch, something that we don't tend to do much in our everyday life. Stretching out top of the hip, into the lower back, into the side of the body. And at the same time, a nice opportunity to squeeze those muscles on the right, wake them up, make them contract, make them work. If you start to float off that left sit bone, ease back. Don't come off the sit bone. Try to relax your left leg, your left foot, easing off any tension in that bent leg. Just gently reaching up, opening up under the arm as well. So you might find that if you've been doing lots of stuff in the garden perhaps, or you've been lifting weights, you might feel that in your shoulders, you might feel that in your left bicep. And if this feels like it's not quite as far as you'd like to go, you can always take your arm to the floor in front of your leg and you get a little bit more bend. What you need to watch out for when you do that is not to curl around, because you're just taking the stretch off where we want to have that stretch. If your body just slips into that little pattern, pull it out. That's lovely. Opening the left side up. keeping the left sit bone down. And then we're going to come up, lift gently to release, come out slowly. That's a huge stretch on that left hip. We want to come out nice and gently. And we're going to turn the torso. So this twist is a little awkward. Use your hands on the floor or use your leg. Nice big leg there, strong leg. And push against so that you can turn your torso towards your outstretched right leg and then folding forward. Keeping that pressure on the outside edge of your leg with your arms to make sure that you're not opening up to the side and you're just folding forward. So you might still feel that in your left hip, just a little differently perhaps. Folding forward as far as works for you for today. Keeping your right leg straight as possible. And remembering to breathe. I think I might have been holding my breath there. Hope you weren't. If you were, lovely, deep, slow breaths. You can close your eyes here. And then opening back up, coming all the way up to sitting, and we're going to swap around and go to do the same on the other side. So right leg comes in, holding that foot up towards the ceiling, getting a little bit more twist in the knee if that's appropriate for that knee. Checking in with your sit bones, are they both nice and firmly on the floor? Up tall to start, so the crown of the head lifting up, so we have that length before we start the move, and then left hand coming down the left leg, left elbow to left knee or shin, depending on your proportions, and then right arm coming up. So straighten that right arm up towards the ceiling. You can turn your head to look up if you wish, or keep your head facing forward. If you've ever had any neck or upper back injuries, that sometimes the twist or looking up to your extended arm, quite a few asanas, the drishti point is perhaps facing up towards the ceiling. It just isn't appropriate anymore if you've got neck injuries or past neck or shoulder injuries. So you'll have to judge what works for you, as you must in all asana practice anyway, but especially with the neck. Be careful. Necks and knees are quite delicate things. We put up with a lot, but we need to protect them. So we can work the neck. I mean, we're still working the muscles in the neck facing forward. It's just a little different. But if it's easy for you and you're not worried about your neck, then look up. Thanks to my lovely car accident in India many years ago, I now look forward and up. Watch out for that floating right hip, keep it down. And again, if you're feeling very bendy and it's very easy, you can take your arm down to the floor, get a little bit closer to the floor, squeeze a little tighter into that left side, and lift that right arm up. Try to relax, especially in the left leg and the right leg. And then we're going to come out. So let's take a nice inhale to come out slowly. Feel that difference, feel that change in the torso. And then we're going to use the hands. So we're facing forward over that extended leg. Well done. Up tall first, and then we'll take a little bit of a bend. Don't worry if it's not too much of a bend. Just noticing how that feels as you twist and fold in your right hip now. Remembering to take those lovely, slow, deep breaths. And remembering to put your phone on silent too, if you're teaching a yoga class. Slowly, when you're ready now, coming up and out of that fold. Taking both legs out now. And up nice and tall. So we're going to take both hands down both legs. So right hand, right leg, left hand, left leg. Folding forward, keeping the back straight. So we've got tall torso, we're not rounding in the back. And that means that we'll get probably not very far at all before we are not able to move further. Hold at that point. Adjust your sit bones, adjust the legs, maybe inching them a little further away, maybe flattening them a little closer to the ground. And once you've done that, you might find you've got a little bit more space to fold forward. You allow your body to relax and let the muscles soften into a position. Focus on your breath, and quite often you then, a few seconds or minutes later, have a little bit more give, have a little bit more flexibility in the muscles. The trick is allowing them to relax. This is a very strong stretch. So we worked into the back of each hip quite strongly. We've crunched up into the side. And now we are really focusing on stretching through the backs of the legs and the inner thighs. So we're right up into the middle of the pelvis, the middle of the groin, with the hips being such a multi-directional joint with such huge range of movement. We need to make sure that we are working in all the different directions. Relax your toes. Do you have a little bit more space? Do you have a little bit more give? A little deeper into the fold, perhaps. And then gently coming back to where we started from. And let's do some standing posture. So let's come up via a squat. Let's start moving. Now we've really warmed up the hips. We're going to be doing some nice work on shoulders in a little while. Let's carry on with the hips and legs for a moment in our squat. I'm not sure why or where I came across it, but I was reading an article or an interview with Sharon Stone, who I think is 65 and looks absolutely fabulous and very joyful and happy. And she was saying she doesn't bother going to the gym, but she does lots of squats every day. I thought, that's brilliant. So lots of squats every day. You can do a squat while you're brushing your teeth. You can do a squat while you're cooking. You can do a squat while you're on the phone. So add squats in. They're fabulous for balance. They're fabulous for keeping those muscles active and feeding the bones, especially in the pelvis. It's a real big weakens as you get older bone, or many bones. And then we're going to dip and take our hips up and head down. So starting to straighten, but keeping the torso stuck to the thighs, head down, hips up, legs nice and straight, or as much as you can have them straight with your torso still stuck to your thighs, and take your hands, clasp them behind your legs. So still a little bit bent over here, a little bit bent legged here, and then straighten your legs and allow your torso to go wherever it needs to go. If you're holding on to one wrist as you straighten your legs, you will probably give yourself a little bit of an extra stretch. So head and neck completely relaxed here. We want to have that lovely blood flow to the head. Deep, slow breaths. Easing off any tension in the neck and shoulders so that we can allow those vessels to be unobstructed. Allow that blood flow. And then hands to the mat, bringing ourselves into our first downward facing dog. First Ardha Mukha Savasana of the practice. I was going to say of the day, but who knows? Maybe you leapt out of bed this morning and you spent a little time in your own first Ardha Mukha Savasana. So anyway, regardless, taking your hips up to the ceiling, shoulders wide, pushing the floor away from you. Remember to push the floor away. Feel that pressure in the palms of your hands, in your fingers, lengthen from your wrists to your hips. And at the same time, a little bit of inward rotation of the upper arms to give yourself that nice length. Straightening the legs. And then we're going to look forward, pivoting softly and gently into our plank. Walking the feet back a little. So we're pushing the floor away again and push back into the heels. So we want to put a little bit of pressure onto the Achilles. Toes are nicely tucked under. Pushing back. Stretching out through the Achilles, through the whole of the backs of your legs. Not dropping your head, so keeping your head, neck, back, legs in line. Still pushing the floor away. We're holding here, be strong. We're going to just take the right knee to the right elbow briefly, trying to keep the rest of the body stable. Squeeze in and send that right leg back. Bringing the left knee to the left elbow, squeezing in, and then taking that leg back. And knees, chest, and chin, Ashtanga Namaskar, bottom stays up. Squeezing the elbows, shoveling yourself forward. Shoveling, don't know where that came from. Not even been thinking about snow recently. Maybe it was the gardening. And then bringing yourself up into Sphinx. So our lovely Sphinx. Make sure that your forearms are flat to the mat. Hands, palms flat to the mat too. And we're going to lift from the elbows. So pushing the elbows into the ground, taking the shoulders up towards the ceiling. Hopefully you've got a little curl in your back there. Pushing the tops of your feet into the floor, engaging your legs, allowing your hips to soften, allowing your glutes to be relaxed. We're up in this lovely Sphinx, and we're going to make this dynamic now. So we're going to draw back with the elbows, send the chest forward. You'll feel that lengthening through the front of your body, taking your shoulders back, drawing your shoulder blades down your back and slightly towards each other, pulling forward. So pull your whole body forward, just using your upper arms. Nice strong contact between the palms and the floor and your forearms. Pulling forward, pulling forward. Balasana, because that's a really strong stretch in the back. Let's counterpose now. So Balasana, arms forward. Taking the arms forward, opening up under the arms. So nice big stretch. Forehead down. Hopefully hips to heels, chest to thighs, and fingertips inching forward. So straight arms, real stretch under the arm. And then briefly coming up to kneeling. Hopefully we've counterposed enough there. Taking the right arm up to the ceiling and then dropping it down, hand behind your head. And we're going to reach around with the left arm and try and find the right fingers, or the fingers of your right hand. If you can't, then hold on to your t-shirt or find a handy cushion or a piece of cloth or something nearby where you can hold one part with your top hand and another part with your bottom hand, and then try to inch them forward. So, nice little link there. A lot of pressure in that top arm and a lot of pressure in the shoulder of your bottom arm, the left arm. Also, it feels like you're compressed in the chest, so it can affect your natural breathing rhythm. So you might have to bring in an artificial little bit of help and attention with the breath here. Slowing it down and deepening. Keeping your head and neck tall and strong, not allowing that right arm to be pushing your head out of line here. And we're going to fold forward, so keep that hold wherever that hold is for you. And we're folding at the hips, gently folding forward. Allowing your arms to be relaxed and heavy and soft. But your fingers and your hands will be working to stay in this position, holding on to cloth or your t-shirt or each other. And then gently coming back up, nice and slow with control. And we're going to release and stay here for a moment, let go, but stay, and then we're going to uncurl gently, coming into doing exactly the same on the other side. So left arm goes up and behind the head, right arm curls round behind you, and you find a similar position. Now, don't try not to be frustrated, and I'm speaking for myself here. If one side is a lot easier than the other. The other side was a little easier than this side. So past injuries, the side of the body that you favor because it's easier, all that stuff comes into play. How you slept, literally how you slept, where your body was arranged, what you did yesterday or the day before or didn't. So relax into this posture. We held for a little time last time on the other side, and we will do the same again here. So again, focusing on your breath, focusing on trying to keep the head and neck straight and in line, not being too pushed around by that left arm. And you can feel here as you breathe, you notice your hand on the back of your back, you'll feel your rib cage moving, which we don't normally pay much attention to, that movement in the back of the body. We can feel it in the front, we can see it in the front. So we're getting this gorgeous stretch under the arms as well, and then complete compression in the other side. Very useful stretch for anybody really. I was going to say for women, but for anybody. And then let's fold forward. So nice control here. Good torso control. Folding forward. Still trying to keep your knees together, your hips to your heels. Gentle fold forward. Forehead down to the mat or towards the mat. Remember to breathe. And then on a nice inhale, coming back up to sitting. And to release, stay here. Letting go of the hands. And then allowing them to slowly come out. And then we're going to hug that big invisible ball, surrounding the shoulder blades, pulling them away from each other, leaning back. So a big lean back here, rounding the whole of your body. And then coming up, taking the arms wide, out as far as you can. Take a big inhale here. Exhale, fold forward, give yourself a hug. Rounding down, inhale, open up. And exhale, folding forward, give yourself a hug, opposite arm on top, rounding down. Bringing your hands to the floor in front of you. We are coming back into downward facing dog, into our second downward facing dog. Heels moving down towards the mat, shoulders wide. The arms and shoulders might feel a little bit different now from having had a bit of a squish and a squeeze. Try to find that lovely posture again. So we are hips up to the ceiling, belly tucked in towards the spine, shoulders broad, pushing the floor away, not caving the upper back or the mid back. So keeping your back and your shoulders in line with each other. Yes, we do want to take the chest down towards the floor, towards your thighs, but not through bending the arms. We want to be pushing the arms, pushing the floor away, nice and straight. And then we're going to come into almost a tabletop, but knees are hovering. So forward, tipping forward, knees come down, and then we're coming into a nice hover. Push the floor away. Well done. Nice and strong. So we are having a little hover. A hover party, a hovercraft. Push the floor away. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then we're rolling the toes. So we're staying, hovering here, rolling the toes. So we're rolling out onto the little toe, rolling into the big toes, and then knees down towards the floor. Release your feet out. And we're going to thread the needles. So we're coming down onto our right shoulder. So right hand comes off, threads through, right shoulder comes down, trying to keep the body more or less in line, not too big a swerve over to the side. And then we're lying on that shoulder. If you're a side sleeper, you probably already do this a lot anyway as you're sleeping. Maybe not with the bum in the air, but the shoulder bit. Who knows? Maybe you do sleep with the bum in the air. A bit drafty unless you've got really big duvet. Anyway, that's a bit of a digression. And we are relaxing into this posture if we can. Let go of any tension in your legs, in your feet, in your face, in your jaw. Squishing into that shoulder. And as we release, what's going to happen is every little blood vessel, every little transport vessel that was squished and restricted is going to be able to open up, and that blood flow is going to whoosh in and feed the joint. And now we're coming off. Ready? Pushing into the left hand, all the way up. Just hold for a moment. And then we're going to be pushing into the right hand, lifting the left hand off, threading it through, keeping the body pretty much straight. Side of the face comes to the mat, and then we're squishing into that left shoulder. Same thing on this side. So relax into the posture if you can. Remembering your lovely, deep, slow breath. So we're going to do a little bit of spine work, and then we're moving back into some nice leg and thigh strength work, and then into some balance, and then we'll be coming into our relax. Gosh, where's the time gone today? Right, pushing into that right hand now, nice and strong, coming off. And then let's just give that left shoulder a chance to feel the warmth, feel the buzz, feel the flow into the neck, into the shoulder, into that underarm, super important underarm area. Well done. Okay, we're perfectly set up for our cat-cow combination here, so be rude not to. Wonderful for the spine, so send yourself with your most attention possible on that spine into your cow posture, and then we're going to breathe out, moving into cat. And in, moving at your own pace. The one thing I'd really ask you to do here is keep that movement and breath connected. So when we did our breath work together at the beginning, we had a hold. So use that hold at either end. So when you're in your cow, hold, pause, don't breathe in, don't breathe out. Be completely full. And as you breathe out, hold on empty. And keep that breath work at your pace. You might be someone who's really happy to stay with an empty breath for a little while. And equally, you might not. So go with what works for you. And we're always practicing. So every time we practice, we get that little bit more control, that little bit more depth of breath, that little bit more power over the system temporarily. And then the rest of the day, it just goes back to doing its own thing. Last 2 rounds here. Think about the spine. Think about every joint being a little bit more relaxed, having a little bit more movement, having a little bit more food, having a little bit more detoxification. And when you're ready, coming back to tabletop. So a little bit more work on the spine. I know that you are you've been in this position a little while. If your wrists are starting to feel a bit grumbly, come up onto a fist. We're just going to take, I know I said spine, but actually I meant hips. We're taking the right leg out to the side, keeping the rest of the body stable and still, being very strong with that posture. Right leg lifts, and it lifts a little higher, and it lifts a little higher still, and it lifts until you really get into that joint, the right hip, and then come back down. Whoa. And then left side up, trying to keep the rest of the body still. Up a little more, up a little further, and hold, and all the way back down. Ooh, okay, that's when you know you've been doing lots of gardening. And then we're going to step the right foot forward. Come up to this lovely easy position, so I can adjust my clothing, and then we're going to send the right foot forward. So right foot comes forward, sliding it forward, and folding forward over that extended right leg. Stretching out the back of your right leg. Just very gentle fold forward. And then we're going to sit back on our left heel. So let that right foot just drag along. So we've got extended right leg, sitting back on the left heel. If sitting on your heel is terribly uncomfortable for you, don't worry, we're not going to be here long, but if you need to, adjust and sit to the side. We're just looking here for that nice stretch in the whole of the back of the right leg, right from your Achilles up to your hip bone. And then we're going to be coming forward, all the way forward, extending out the left leg, and then sliding it back a little so that you come to a nice lunge with your right knee above your right ankle, supporting yourself with your hands on either side. Good compression into the right thigh, into the right hip, extension along the front of the left. Quite a strong stretch here. I've got a lot of weights that I'm holding into my arms. If you want to add on, you're very welcome to take your hands off. I feel like I kind of need my hands there today. And then we're going to come up. So bringing the body up. So use your leg if you need to push. And here we are. It's beautiful. Very low, very long lunge. Relax your shoulders, your gaze is directly forward. Last breath here. Well done. Hands back down to the floor. Send yourself back. We're going back now to that left heel, dragging the right leg and folding forward. Extending the stretch on the back of your right leg. And then we're coming up. Bring the hands down, come into Prasarita Padottanasana. So in a nice forward bend, wide leg stretch, head down. This might just be our last inversion together today. So head down, allow that blood flow. And then we're going to turn to the left side and the same thing. So left leg is stretching out. We're coming to sit back on the right heel. Push that left ankle down into the mat. Big, big, big stretch. Huge stretch in the back of the left leg. Push, push, push. We want lovely, long, strong leg muscles that work beautifully together to protect our joints. Strong knees, strong ankles, strong hips. And then we're going to come forward into that beautiful lunge again. So remember what we did last time. We just folded forward as far as possible and then we slid that right leg back. Really depends on what kind of surface you're on. I'm on a very slippery surface, so it's very easy for me. It might be that you need to edge the left foot forward. I am sure you will work it out for yourself beautifully. So hips are very low here. As I said before, I've got quite a lot of weight into my arms. I want to find the most, I was going to say the most tricky, the most challenging version of this posture for myself. I really want to get the hips quite challenged here. Increase blood flow, allow that lovely detoxification to happen. Again, another hugely important area for lymphatic drainage. Under the arms, in the groin. So lovely compression in the left and big stretch in the right, which is its own form of compression. Well done. Right, let's slide back. One more stretch under the left leg. And then we are going to come forward. We're going to go straight to Prasarita Padottanasana. I can't speak or pronounce it properly today. Forward fold, hips up. You might be able to feel that now in both hips. Let's do a little bit of a slide from side to side. So we're bending the knee, hands are low, head is low. Just a nice, almost like a bouncing your head from your left hand to your right hand. At the same time, we've got a lovely stretch in the legs. And then we're going to walk the legs in and we're coming back to a squat. We're coming back down to the ground, coming back to full circle, coming into a squat. Take yourself back down to the ground. Let's come into Navasana. It's all a bit quick. Dynamic yoga today. So lovely straight back, legs are strong. Take your arms either side. Hold on if you need to, but if you don't, then let's take the arms out to the sides, lengthen the legs, keep the torso nice and strong. And from here, we're going to lower down to the ground if it's appropriate for you. If that doesn't work for your back or for your legs, come down to lie in your Shavasana, however does work for you, and relax. Well done. So we've done lots of lovely twists and lots of strength. So we're going to just go straight into our Shavasana today. Take a deep breath, feel as if you're filling up your entire body with air, with breath, with all of those essential bits and pieces floating around, the light, the warmth, the oxygen, the peace, the calm, everything is out there, and we're just going to breathe it in and send it around the body and hold to the things that we need to keep. And the rest, we're going to allow it to swirl around, pick up any bits of flotsam and jetsam, pick up any bits of rubbish that we no longer need, and breathe it all out. Bring yourself back to your sankalpa, to your intention for your practice. Close your eyes, focus on your breath. Bring yourself into that completely relaxed state of letting go of every single muscle in the body, feeling the floor, the ground, the earth, the world has your back, literally and metaphorically. Feel the energy coming up from the ground. Feel the energy coming down from the universe. And feel yourself radiating with your own energy, with the energy that you take, the energy that you give, the ebb and flow of energy. You are an energetic being, and you are connected to everything and everyone, whether you know them or not. Breathing in, feeling that deep connection. Breathing out, letting go. Feeling safe, feeling held, feeling supported, feeling seen, feeling just right. Breathing in, filling up with energy and light and warmth. Breathing out, letting go. Finding peace and calm within yourself. Feeling strong, feeling centered. Feeling completely connected, mind, body, and spirit. Taking a deep breath in, keeping your eyes closed, gently coming to rest on your right side. Taking a deep breath in when you're ready, keeping your eyes closed, coming up to sitting any way that works for you. Bringing your hands together, just gently feeling your right palm and the warmth with your left, feeling the left palm with your right. And then let's rub the palms together. Warm. Get some sparks flying. And cup them over your eyes. Blink into that lovely, soft, dark space. Gently pressing into the little bones around your eyes. Blinking a few times. Breathing in, nice big deep breath. And as you exhale, floating your hands back down to center. Welcome back. Thank you very much for joining me, for joining you, mind, body, and spirit on your mat. And have a beautiful, blessed day.